Hey folks, welcome to another video where I do a prior CSS battle. These are daily targets from February 12th, 13th, and the 14th. I guess that would be Valentine's Day 2024. Let's get right to it. If ever there was one that felt like it needed to be display flex, I think it's this one. So let's create an element and give it a height, which is a variable because they are variable height, bar dash dash h, comma 100. Let's make 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then how do we distinguish them? Let's put a C on the middle one and then B's on the other two. Now, they need a width. I think they're all the same width. I hope they are. They sure look like it. Width of, let's say 40. Okay. Then we need to put display flex, right? Now, they are centered. So we can do justify content center, align item center in terms of the speed aspect of this. So for B, it's a little bit taller. So we create the B attribute and we do dash dash H and 120. And then the C is even a little bit bigger still. So we'll do dash dash H and 150, let's say. All right, so what's that look like? That's what that looks like. So let's add a gap. Gap is the spacing between elements in a flex line. I did 20 pixels, not quite right. Our width is not quite right. How's it, 50? Is it 60? Oh, our margins there are off, so let's fix that. Okay, so 60 is too wide. 50? 50 looks right, so our gap is wrong. How about 25? Rate, our heights need to be different. 30, 40, 50 for B, and then 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. All right, so the only thing missing then is what? Border radius, I think, is what's missing. 10 pixels border radius, and that's the whole thing. So what are the parts that we can change and tune? If we don't do this justification, what do we get? We get that. So if we add margins to the body, margin 0, 0, 10, 20, 30, 25. Okay, that's what we get then. So let's put a top margin just to fix what, C. 20. How about 30, 40? No. How about 35? 35. Nope. 36. 34. 34. All right, so what do we need to do to get these all centered? Can we do what? What's the thing? Align self. I'm searching. What is it? Align self center? I think that's what we want. And that's, yeah, I'll take that. We also could set the top margins for each one of these things individually, but then that's a little bit more code, right? So we need to set a dash dash M for each one of these guys. And I'm happy. I don't think I've ever used align self center or align self for any of the values for solutions here. So I'm happy to add that to my add that to my quiver here of various tools. So that's fun. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, let's submit and we're done. That's a great one. I believe we're at 100%. Yeah, we're at 100%. So hopefully tuning this is even better, and that's a new high score. All right, next, what do we got? What do we got here? Okay. What is this element? For some reason, I find myself wanting to make the circle with a little bar. Now, I don't know if that's a bad idea or a good idea, but I think it's my idea. So what does that look like? Let's create that element. That's going to be what a background of radial gradient circle at circle at, so circle that red and then this color. I need a comma. All right, and then we're just gonna move that down using margins, and let's do all the margins. So yeah, I definitely want to take a different approach with this one. This is counterintuitive, maybe a bad idea, but I think that by setting this element kind of in an interesting way. Okay, so the height of that is what, 80, and then the width of that is, we're going to do explicit width rather than bother too much. Okay, so that's what that looks like. We're going to do a circle at 30 pixels, 0. Is that right? Yeah, circle at 40 pixels. Okay, cool. And then how do we do that bar? Circle picture, or is this a chance to do a variable? No, actually I like this. No. Oh, now I'm not sure. Let's do. All right, new plan. Thank you for bearing with me as I do. So --c is this radial gradient, right? And then he needs to be transparent on the background. All right, so if I do a var, I'm gonna nuke the paragraph tag. We're gonna do this all with gradients. Again, this is in the category of, is this a good idea or not? Var --c, there it is. And then by moving that 0 minus 10 pixels, three, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that's one. Let's do another. That's going to be minus 40 pixels, minus 140 pixels, minus 100 pixels, minus 70. There we go. And then 50 pixels. And then another. And I guess that's going to be 70 pixels. All right, so that's how you get 3 circles. Good way? Bad way to do that? How about a conic gradient now? And can I do this? Yeah, okay, so the next is a conic gradient, which is red. 75%. The light red, and then the rest of it. And so what we need there is a big at value at 40 pixels, 50%. Is that right? Oh, and then we need to make it a different width. Or actually, no, not 50%. We want 40 pixels, 200 pixels. And then we make it 20 pixels wide. And then 100% tall and no repeat. That's how you get a bar like that. No, that's a bad idea. How about 40 pixels? And then how about, okay, we're removing the at value. So that's what I'm trying to do. So we need to be less tall. What I want is to move that down. Yeah, we're going to move that down 100 pixels and then over. One 6, 1 8, 1 7, and then have it be taller. Yeah, it needs to be taller, doesn't it? Yeah, so what we're trying to do, let's move this down even a little bit more. 200 pixels down, 1 9. Yeah, okay, so 1 10. And let's move that up. 1 8, 100. And then the at value needs to be different. At and then let's let it repeat. Oh. Is this a good idea? No, it is currently not a good idea. We're overthinking it. Totally overthinking it. So, what do we do to do that? Let's do... So I was trying to do a conic gradient that would be this. And we're gonna have to cover it anyway, so let's rethink our conic gradient. Same values, 75%. This dark color, yeah, the bright color, 75%. And then the dark color. And then the starts at 0 0. Trying to do all the variables at once. What's the problem? No repeat. So now we use no repeat and totally bind it to the widths and heights that we need. 2, 210, 2, 210. And then let's do an at. If it's 210 wide, then it's what, 190 pixels over. And then probably 100 pixels to, no, it's also 190. All right. And then if I let that repeat, then you get a lot of it, but not all of it, unfortunately. Okay, so then I need another conic gradient, don't I? Yeah, I do. Or something. Yeah, conic gradient. That's on top of that one. And I will do a ridiculous color. So what I want to do is let through just this part here. So to do that, I need blue, transparent. And blue is so I can keep track of whatever the heck it is I'm doing. And then move that over. And I guess it's probably too wide. At 30%. And then 60% tall. Then I can move that over. $150, and then 100, and that will do it as well. So then let's set that color and submit. Fun, weird solution. Oh no. Pause.
Sorry. I think
Not at all. I think that I made them easier to find, but they're right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. Pause. There we go. Yeah, so that's a good solution here. Quite like that. Let's minify. You can replace. More trimming. And submit again. Yeah, so yeah, the circles, right? Many ways to do this, right? I do like the idea of an individual element. They're just slightly too different, right? They have different widths and whatever. I guess in theory we could do this as a repeating gradient. You could do the edges as border radiuses. I'm just not. Yeah, I wish I liked it better, but I don't. So many different ways to do this one, it becomes analysis paralysis problem. Okay. Again, I think we're in display flex land here. So that's going to be that same technique that we did. And actually, we can steal the same code. Actually, we can steal all the same code, can't we? Look at that. We just do plop and then flop out the colors, and it's awfully similar. Okay, so background is this. And then this color is different. And already that's pretty close. So our gap is much smaller. Our margins are maybe different as well. So, and then our widths of the individual items are different. So border radius, let's call it 20. Width, let's call it 40. Close. And I don't think we need the align self now. No, we do not. Pretty good. Let's set that border radius to 0 just so we can see the contrast, which is really critical for being able to distinguish. I'm just changing it to 44 does it. I'm going to make the widths nice and narrow so that when I adjust these margins I don't end up stretching things, because inside flex that's what's going to happen. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 95. Okay, is that so good? 180. Okay, and then the width is 40. The width is 50. Oh, we got a problem. Not quite working, is it? Okay. What's the problem? The gap is just way too big. Let's try 5. So 5 pixels. So this shows that we are already stretching. The thing I feared. 30. Okay, so 5, then 10 pixel gap, 15 pixel gap. There it is. Our initial height is not tall enough. 120. That's a lot of the way there, huh? Great. So what's our border radius? I think we've got the heights right of each element. We're going to not sweat the bar that's going across. Not yet. All right. Border radius. Let's put on the diff again. And if it is 30 wide, then this is probably 15 pixels. And then our body is a conic gradient. That's always my go-to for an ad hoc thing that's behind everything else. So 75% of that dark, and then the light color 0. And then we need an at value that is reasonable. I guess it's at the vertical position. The Y is the most important. That's 30 pixels. But the X position, we can just do 50%, I think. Is that correct? It might be a little too wide, but so let's do 100 pixels over, 30 pixels down, 60 pixels down. Close. How about 40 40% or 45% wide? We're close. And then move that over, more over on the x-axis. There it is. So 45%, 30 pixels. Super similar, right? Like doing them, you know, sometimes these when I do these sets of 3, they rhyme in some interesting way. There's a set from late last year that is a face. Each day it's slightly different, and that'll be fun. I'll make sure I'll do those as a group because that's a fun set of code. Unit replace, minify, unit replace. Is there anything I can remove that was there that I don't need from the other things? So I get border radiuses, border radii. Got away cheap because this is the same radius as this, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it is. But that's good. That's a fun one. Super fun. I know I say that all of them are fun, and to me, they're all fun. All right, and that's a better score than I've got in the past. That's it. Thanks for watching. Make something cool with HTML and CSS, and have a great day.